My name's Christina Birch. Welcome to my kitchen. Have you ever had to make something for a potluck or a special occasion and you weren't sure quite what to make? You wanted to make something yummy and unique, something that doesn't take too many expensive ingredients and doesn't take 5 hours to make. Well, I've been selling cooking products in people's homes by doing cooking demos for about 4 years now, and this is one of my recipes that I do, and it's very good, and I've had very good results. I've never heard anybody say that they don't like it. And it's a very simple, very quick recipe that I'm going to show you guys how to make today, and you don't have to be a professional chef to make this recipe. It's easy to remember. It's very easy to change ingredients and just shift it around to your tastes. It's called the Banana Split Brownie Pizza. So now let's make the Banana Split Brownie Pizza together, and I'll just show you some real simple steps as to how to do that. So first we started off, we preheated our oven to 375 degrees. Now I'm making a larger serving because I'm making it for a larger crowd. Now if you just have fewer people you're cooking it for, feel free to half this recipe. It works great. So what I did is I just took 2 boxes of regular brownie mix. I mixed it according to the package directions, except I left out about a 1/3 cup of oil, because if you put too much oil and you're making such a large amount of brownies, they get a little soggy in the middle. They don't like to cook up very well. If you're doing a half-size recipe, you can do it according to the package directions just fine. Now, I have a large bar pan here. I love cooking with stoneware, but you don't have to use a stoneware pan. You can just use a regular cookie sheet, or you can use a 3x9 casserole dish. If you're doing a single recipe, you can use a 9x9 square dish if you want your brownies to be a little thicker. You can also use a pizza pan if you want to be extra fancy, but just make sure you put parchment paper on it if it doesn't have sides, because the brownie batter will roll over the sides and just completely wreck your pizza. So we placed our brownie mix in a greased pan. We put it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. And how we check for doneness is, of course, we stick the toothpick in the brownie. Now, I always say if you can smell the brownies, they're almost done, and that's a pretty good way to go too. And if you have a convection oven, your brownies will cook a little bit faster, probably 20 to 25 minutes, but I'd still try to keep an eye on them so you don't overcook them, because nobody likes a burnt brownie. So after we take the brownies out of the oven, I bet everybody's saying, we're so ready to eat right now, but we're not done yet. It gets even better. So the next step in our process is we mix 2 packages of cream cheese, just regular cream cheese, 8-ounce packages that you get at the store, with a 1/2 cup of white sugar. You don't have to use powdered sugar or any kind of fancy sugar. I just use white sugar. It mixes very well in with the cream cheese. You can feel free to add vanilla or cinnamon to kind of spice it up a little bit. Maybe even some lemon zest would make it really yummy. Now, what we did is we just popped the 2 packages of cream cheese mix in the microwave for maybe a minute to 2 minutes, depending on how powerful your microwave is. I have a really wimpy microwave, so it takes me a little longer to cook my cream cheese. And I added a 1/2 cup of white sugar. Now, this is where you kind of want to make sure you know what your tastes are. Now, I didn't put that much sugar because I feel like this dessert is sweet enough as it is. The original recipe actually calls for 2/3 cups of sugar. And you can feel free to put even less in if you want, just because it like I said, it's already sweet. We spread the cream cheese on the brownie, and I try to leave like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch around the edges, if you can see that, just to make it look more like a pizza to me, a little bit fancier. And I like to use an angled spreader. It seems a lot easier to spread things, but a spatula works well. Even a butter knife makes it a lot easier to spread frosting and things on cakes. Next, we do the fruit. Now, the first kind of fruit that I like to use in a banana split brownie pizza is bananas, of course. And so, does everybody know the right way to peel a banana? Now, I bet everybody's always done it this way, and that's how I always used to do it. But you ever had like a really ripe banana or an underripe banana, and you turn it and you just smash your banana and it doesn't open? So I saw this handy little trick on YouTube, and they say that this is how monkeys do it. And so you just pinch the edge of the banana like this, and you get a little piece off, and it just peels very nicely off the end, and you don't have to smash your banana. And of course, take this part out because it's icky. And we have a beautifully peeled monkey style, supposedly, banana. And then we're just going to slice the banana up into 3 pieces. Now, I wonder if you're thinking, you know, 3 pieces, how are you going to put that on a pizza? Well, I'm going to show you a little trick. This is an egg slicer, just a regular run-of-the-mill egg slicer. But guess what? You can use egg slicers for more than just eggs. So I cut my banana into 3 pieces. I'm just going to stick it in the egg slicer. And it's going to slice my banana into these perfectly uniform little pieces. It's great for oatmeal or anything like that. And you can use your egg slicer on any kind of soft tissued fruit or vegetable. I even use it for my hot dogs when I'm doing macaroni and cheese with hot dogs for my kids. You can use olives. You can use it for mushrooms, so you don't have to pay for the pre-sliced mushrooms at the grocery store. And I'm just putting my bananas into a bowl with a little bit of lemon juice. And I'm going to stir it up just a smidge, just to coat it with lemon juice. Now the lemon juice keeps the bananas from turning brown, especially if you're going to be waiting a little while before you serve this dish, or you just want it to look pretty. I suggest lemon juice or for your bananas and your apples and any kind of fruit that you want it to stay. It's like a really good preservative. Now, if you're doing something and you think the lemon juice just makes it a little bit too sour, you can use 7-Up or Sprite. I've even used apple juice. Anything that has like citric acid in it works really well, and then you don't have the sourness of the lemon juice. Next, we're going to do strawberries. Now, I love strawberries, and they're really fun, especially for the summertime. Now, we've already rinsed and cut the top off of our strawberries, and we're going to use our egg slicer for our strawberries too. Now, with a strawberry, because some of them tend to be a little bit harder to slice with the egg slicer, you want to put the pointy side up, and then you just slice it like that with the egg slicer, and you make pretty little strawberry slices, almost heart-shaped for your strawberries. And we're just going to put them right in there with the bananas, kind of make them a little bit pink. Now, as you can see, I've already did most of the work here, and I've put my strawberries and my bananas evenly spaced, and I like to make little flower decorations, but not everybody does that. I mean, you can make straight lines, you can make, you know, a square or a flag for the 4th of July. Say you use blueberries and bananas and strawberries. I've done that before. And we're just going to put the strawberries in a nice little pattern, and you don't have to do that even. I mean, if you're in a hurry, just throw it on top, and everybody's going to think it tastes great anyway. Really simple recipe. Now, if you don't have an egg slicer, of course, you can just use a knife. That's pretty simple. So we've got the strawberries, and we've got the bananas on there, and so now I want to show you a really, really fancy little trick also that I use with the egg slicer. I stick a big strawberry, this is the biggest one I had today, in my egg slicer, and I go down about 3/4 of the way. I take my strawberry out of the egg slicer carefully, and I fan it out like a little pretty centerpiece on your brownie pizza right in the middle, just like that. Now, I usually have bigger strawberries, but there you go. The next step in this process is the nuts and the chocolate. Now we're almost done. Pretty simple so far, right? So the recipe calls for peanuts, but I have pecans. Pecans are really good with this recipe. You can use any kind of nut you want. You can use walnuts, you can use peanuts, almonds. If you're allergic to nuts, just skip them all together. If you don't like nuts, don't worry about it. Still tastes good. Here's a little trick that I learned. You can toast your nuts in the microwave, in a microwave safe bowl. Say walnuts or pecans, just 2 or 3 minutes. You stir them every 30 seconds, and you can kind of smell when they're toasted. So we're just going to put, this is about 1/3 of a cup of pecans on here, and we're just going to sprinkle them right over the top, just like that. And, you know, just go eyeball it, you know, however you like it, whatever you think is prettiest. Trust your instincts, and have a little fun with it. Make it a little work of art, you know. And so I'm just going to spread my pecans over there. I'm not even going to use all of them. So we got the nuts. We're almost done. Next, we did half chocolate chips and half butter. I used 1/4 cup of butter and 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. I melted them in the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes, depending on your microwave again, and I stirred every 30 seconds. If you don't have chocolate chips, you can use milk chocolate bars. You can use Hershey's Kisses. And you just want to make sure you stir it so it doesn't burn. And I like to take my little basting brush and dip it in there and kind of drizzle it over there almost like Jackson Pollock, you know, splatter style. A little bit of abstract art for your dessert. And, you know, you can also get a Ziploc bag, and you can fill the Ziploc bag, the corner of it, with your chocolate sauce or even frosting if you're doing a cake. And just snip the tip off just enough for the, you know, the frosting to come out in a nice little line, and you can just drizzle it diagonally, side to side across it, like so. And it's like your own little piping bag, but it costs a lot less, and it's pretty easy to make right in the middle of your kitchen. Now, it depends on how much chocolate you like. I like a lot of chocolate, but pretty much done. What do you think? Now all we gotta do is cut it and serve it, and I guarantee you it'll be a hit. So, do you think it was pretty easy to make this recipe today? Do you think you could reenact it at home pretty simply? This is an old Pampered Chef recipe. Now, you won't find it online, but I will post the recipe at the end of this video if you want to make it yourself and you're not sure if you can do it without a recipe. I hope you're ready to eat because I'm sure hungry. Thank you.